All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Pitch Invaders. Yeah, you like that? We have a very special show for you guys today. Why is it a special show, guys?
This is our first
Because
podcast.
it's our first episode. That's a
Ever.
very special show, yeah?
Yes.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
good. So we're going to have some conversation today that hopefully will be inspiring for those that want to learn more about soccer, right, or football.
Yes.
We have to decide what we're going to call it.
I think we have to call it soccer.
Do we?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we're in
I
America.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sounds good. So my name is Christian, and we have
Amir.
Amir and
Max.
Max. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
Just
Good.
ate Costco pizza, you know?
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. All right.
The healthiest
Cool.
thing in the world.
So I'd like to start with an introduction. Let's talk about ourselves a little bit. I know we all love to do that. So let's talk about ourselves a little bit and the teams that we support, team or teams, and why. And why don't we start with you, Max, since you're
Ooh.
the host?
Yeah. So I support Liverpool. When I grew up, I actually supported Barcelona just because I was a basic Messi fan, like growing up. But Liverpool was always close to my heart. Fernando Torres and Gerrard and all those times. So I've been supporting Liverpool since 2008 probably.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, I love it. I love supporting. I love being a Red fan, even though we don't win everything. But there's nothing better than not walking alone.
Okay. How can you give us a Scouse accent? Can you do one?
Oh,
or
I'm.
no?
I guess we could try. No, I guess I can't. No.
Pretend talk like Trent Alexander-Arnold. And
I think.
That's how you came.
Yeah,
That's how you came.
all right, cool.
yeah,
All right,
it was on something.
Amir,
I am a City fan. I've been City fan since 2010.
which city?
Boo.
Manchester City.
Manchester
Yes.
City. That's right. Yeah.
There's only one city.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm a huge soccer fan. Been playing soccer since I was a little kid. Been watching soccer since '02. Watched all like the legends while growing up, and I was also a Messi fan. Like I had something for Barca during like the '07 to '10 period, and then I started following Man City because they started buying like all the star players at that time, and like when you see like your favorite player in PlayStation is being transferred to another club, then you want to play with that player. So I select Man City.
Yeah.
It was Man Blue at that time. And
Was it really?
It was.
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
Man Blue in PES.
That's
like,
disgusting.
Or
That's
Manchester Blue.
Manchester Blue.
And then it just started growing.
How far have we come
The
now?
love for the club. Yeah. And I'm glad I made that choice.
Nice, good stuff. All right. Well, again, my name is Christian. I too am a Manchester City fan, and I guess for me, okay, so I was, born and raised in America, and I always tell, especially Americans, this part. So, in the late 2000s and early 2000s, I always make the joke that it was a lot easier if you had a basic cable package or whatever. It was a lot easier to watch English Premier League games then than even MLS games. Okay, and La Liga games were even more difficult. So, basically, at that time, from what I can remember, this is late 2000s or late 2000s, right? If you wanted to watch a La Liga game, you needed a special cable package. If you wanted to watch MLS, you needed a special cable package, right? English Premier League games were on all the time, but I never really really picked a side. But man, one time I remember watching Champions League soccer because those games would actually come on, and I watched Barcelona. And I know my dad's a Barcelona fan, and I know everybody was enamored by Messi, and yeah, Messi's amazing. But there was a different player that caught my eye, and it was Yaya Toure. This dude, because my first love was basketball, right? So when I've always been a big basketball guy. So when I'm watching soccer and I'm trying to get into it, I am seeing, when I watch Yaya Toure, it's like watching a basketball player play with a bunch of soccer players. The dude was so big and so strong and so tall and yet so
beast.
fast. He was a beast. So I was so enamored with this player but the thing is like I said, watching La Liga games, we would get Champions League every once in a while. El Clasico, we would get it, but it'd be on the Spanish channels. So you'd have to watch it with Spanish commentators and not understand any of the commentary. So to me, it's I love that player, but I didn't really fully support Barcelona because I just didn't really see him on TV and often enough. And then in 2010, the transfer that changed everything for me. It was when he went to Manchester City, and after that, I was hooked. So
man.
I know it's a bit weird, like following a player towards a team, but that's kind of like how it worked for
Man,
me.
I had
So.
some tears in my eyes. That was an emotional story.
Yeah. So yeah, Yaya Toure was the guy for me. So
I think it was besides Yaya Toure, I started like really following like what is Manchester City when Robinho went to
Oh, yeah.
Manchester City. Like that was a big thing for me because Robinho was like they called him like the next Ronaldinho or something, and then I was like, that's the next big star.
Yeah.
So I was following him, but then when he went to Manchester City and then Yaya Toure,
Yeah.
and
Craig
then all of
Bellamy, you guys were.
all of the other like Tevez, getting
Yeah.
Tevez from Man U was
that
a
was a
big
big deal.
move
this is
around
when
that
we started
time.
getting like skillful players. Like
Yeah.
not to bash like English players, but they're kind of like brute force type of guys. But then we started getting like David Silva and Robinho, and we could start getting guys that like played with a like soccer ball at their feet when they were little, and like just could do skills that we just really didn't see much before on the team. So that was like when we went,
Yeah.
obviously new ownership helped a lot too. Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah, so I got to be honest, I'm a spoiled fan because I believe like 2010 was when Yaya joined Manchester City, and then the following year was the famous Aguero moment.
Oh, man.
So like imagine like you start following a team and the next year they win a championship.
Yeah.
They won the Premier League title for the first time. So since then I got to be honest, I've been a very spoiled fan. They have done very little to upset me. Let's just say that. So
Let me tell you,
yeah.
I've gone through hell as a Liverpool fan. Like, I started supporting them at the right time, in terms of like I saw Fernando Torres, but then I went through, I don't know, like 4 years of hell, like ending in 7th and 8th place, and having like oh my gosh, probably the worst players we could have had in our team. Like Lallana is our star man.
Oh, yeah.
That's like embarrassing. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I mean, but I made it through. But
They were dark times.
they were very dark times,
Yeah.
They were very dark times, but yeah, it brought us to today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then I'm sure like getting Mohamed Salah when that transfer happened. Maybe let me preface, we're all Egyptian here, so like that was obviously
It was a big
deal.
bonus, yeah.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And then he started going off. I'm sure that really ignited the fan base. Like he probably,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot.
he
of,
ended the dark times basically.
We
right?
have a lot of like Liverpool fans on paper, but
Quote.
they have no idea what Liverpool was before 2016, 2017 season.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, fair enough. All right, good intro, guys. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Yeah. All right. So now we want to move on to talk about some like current transfer news. Are you guys interested in that?
Oh yeah.
This is where things gonna get a little bit spicy, And
must
so I
say.
thought we'd go through like the top 6, and then anybody else that you want to throw in there, how they're doing in the current transfer window. Let's go through it. I mean, for the most part, because of the Euros and Copa America, I feel like it's been pretty quiet, and we're probably gonna have like a really insane August, right, guys? Like, what do you guys think it's gonna stay like this, or do you think there's gonna be a small window where just everything starts blowing up and we start seeing a lot of movement? What do you guys think?
I think there's still a lot more transfers to come.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it's cooled down right now. I mean, apart from Manchester United, who are just on fire, like buying left and right.
Yeah.
I really do hope, because Liverpool haven't made a sign like any
Only
any
team in
even
the Premier
contract
League.
conversation yet. So
Yeah, why don't we start with Liverpool then? Because they are the only team, from what I'm seeing here, that hasn't made a signing yet.
It's shocking.
As of now.
the manager did say that he would be surprised if they didn't make a signing. So I mean,
What
that
does that mean?
That's something. So I mean, that tells me that they are going to make a signing, but it's very concerning that I haven't heard any rumors.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not
none of the
linked with
rumors are
anyone?
confirmed. Like I hear
Yeah.
a player,
Yeah.
and then 3 days later, it's a different player, and they forgot about that other player. So like, it's never been something consistent
Yeah.
throughout the news. Like, so we need to replace players. I mean, Matip left. We need a center back. There's other players that left that we need to cover their positions.
And you guys lost Thiago.
We lost
Alcantara
Thiago.
for-
Oh,
Yeah, I
what
mean,
a big
retirement
loss
too.
that was.
We
Oh,
lost
man.
him the past 2
Oh,
seasons.
no.
I mean,
It's still a value player.
Yeah.
I would consider.
Dang it.
no, and also
How will you
goalkeeper.
go on? Oh,
We
sorry.
need to cover goalkeeper because Kelleher is potentially gonna leave. So
You guys
and
lost Adrian too.
Adrian left. So we need another goalkeeper. I mean, there's a lot of positions that need covering.
Amir, what's the only thing I'm hearing about with Liverpool? I'm hearing that, Trent Alexander-Arnold is kind of hanging
On the
out with the
bench,
Real Madrid guys a little bit too
That's
much.
what I heard too.
Huh? That's all
I'm-
we're hearing over here, Max.
I mean,
You
we're
know?
gonna talk about it later, but I'm really concerned about Trent Alexander-Arnold
Oh,
this
yeah?
season.
Yeah.
I feel like his self-esteem has hit rock bottom after the Euros, and I don't think personally he's gonna have a good season. I mean, that's off topic.
Is it because he was benched to Walker?
He was benched. He made he was kind of like the
Oh.
I don't know if
Yeah, he was
scapegoat
the
is the right
scapegoat.
word.
He was.
They
He
used
was.
him as like, oh, it's Trent's fault. Now
Yeah.
we're gonna make it to the final.
I don't think anyone. I mean, I would be surprised if anyone sat there and watched that and said he's the reason why England was performing so.
But yeah, I mean,
We all know
You had
it
like
was,
so many players playing out
Yeah.
of their position. I don't think he can be
every
the
news article
scapegoat.
though will say something about that.
because he was he got benched and then I think they went with Kobe Mainu after that, right? So I
Yeah.
guess he gets. Do you think that Southgate killed his confidence like that?
I
He's
do.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I think it's gonna have a big impact. And losing
Mm.
Jurgen Klopp at the same time. I mean, this is like back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm worried that we
transitional
are
year.
not. We're gonna be a fourth. I'm kind of going off topic, but
No,
that's like a fourth place squad right now. How we have it.
Who do
Really?
you think you guys need to actually keep the same potential that you had last year?
We need a solid center back. We cannot rely on Darwin Nunez or Luis Diaz for goals. We need a solid striker. Like, and also Salah is going to be leaving next season potentially.
Yeah.
Who are we going to have to cover him? Harvey Elliott, really? That's the top 3 player. I mean, he's a good player, but where's the next person to step up?
Yeah.
Darwin Nunez, I don't know if I watched the Copa America. He's the most frustrating player in any team.
I agree.
He missed. I think there was a stat I read for him playing with Uruguay. He missed so many shots, the most shots. I don't know the stat off the top of my head, but like, if we keep him and we keep the squad we have, we're not ending in a good season. So, in terms of Liverpool's transfer news, there better be more to come because, as it stands, regardless of who's the coach or not, this is like a on the brink of Europa League kind of team.
Dang.
I mean, I'm trying to be a realistic
I feel like
fan.
I'm more optimistic about Liverpool than he
I
is.
think I am more optimistic. I think Darwin is going to bring a lot of potential for you guys. this season.
He has goals in him, but if he got his finishing down, he could be a 30-goal season player.
He had a thing with
think that.
Klopp at the end of the season too. Like maybe Klopp wasn't trusting him as
Yeah.
much towards the end. So with a new coach and
I hope so.
honestly, I mean, I think he played really good in the Copa.
I thought he did
wasn't
too.
just like scoring. So if
Yeah, I
the
thought he did
coach
too.
really focused with
Yeah.
him on that finishing part, like the same thing happened with Vinicius when he was coming.
Oh yeah,
When he
yeah.
was under Zidane, and then Ancelotti came, and then he kind of worked with him like one-on-one, and then look at Vinicius Junior now. He's one of the
Maybe you're right.
like best players in the world. So I think
Let's see what Arne Slot has.
honestly, I think you guys should focus on Darwin.
I think he's a very key player to have on the team, but
Yeah.
it concerns me that he's the person that we have only to rely on, apart from Salah.
I think you guys should build on him. That would be my thought. But
Let's see.
and I mean that tragedy he had in Copa with the fans and everything.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
scarred.
that brings out men, right?
Let's see, man. I wouldn't mind a 25-goal season player. I mean,
That's crazy, man.
I don't.
Yeah.
I want
He's like
somebody
bunch of
else.
fan-
Yeah.
He had a Ron Artest moment.
Yeah,
You guys know about the Malice in the Palace and
No.
2000. Okay, so like just I don't mean to bring basketball in here, but in 2004, I believe 2004, Ron Artest, he was a player for the Indiana Pacers. They were playing in Detroit against the Pistons, and a fan. He had like a technical foul. He was laying on the score card table thing. He was just like laying down, and a fan poured a beer on him, and he ran into the stands and like knocked the dude out. And it was like a
Dang.
really big incident. Honestly, this is the moment where I feel like the NBA started getting soft and like calling fouls, and the players just got softer.
Yeah.
Because that we had such a violent moment happen where like this 6'8", 250-pound chiseled out of stone human being
Rocked.
ran into the stands and knocked out like 3 dudes that were like drunk and like pouring beer on people. So yeah, so when I saw the Darwin Nunez thing happen, that's what it made me think of. And Ron Artest got suspended for the season after
Yeah.
that happened. So I was like, has there been any punishment
There
for
shouldn't
Darwin
be.
Nunez?
There shouldn't be.
You don't think there should be?
It's a shame that happened on U.S. soil. To be
Yeah.
honest,
But you don't think
And
he
it-
should be punished for punching a fan at all?
he was
No?
protecting his family.
we have
okay.
some lousy
Yeah.
security guards. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
Okay, fair enough.
They
Yeah.
thought, oh, we're just here for a soccer game.
Yeah,
Like,
I was actually surprised to see Darwin in the front line. Like, usually, like, I mean, Darwin is not very tolerant to fans. Like, people
sure.
mock him on social media, and he goes and deactivates his account for a couple of days and stuff. So now maybe
Very
there will be a
emotionally driven, yeah.
transition
Yeah.
in how his personality.
cool, man.
You
Yeah.
never know.
You're getting Carvalho back too. Fabio Carvalho.
Yeah.
Have
These
you
are
watched
all-
him in preseason? How's he looked?
He's good. I mean, he's good. He's
Yeah.
good. He's not a starter yet. That's my opinion.
Really?
I think
Okay.
he's a bench player, comes on 60th minute kind
Yeah.
of player.
Yeah,
That's
Maybe your next Thiago.
yeah. I think he's like a
I like him.
he's a pretty good player. I mean,
He needs to
he
get in the
needs
weight room a little bit.
He
but
needs maybe a
his-
couple seasons before I could see him in the starting 11.
Yeah,
That's kind
in
of
the Premier League, being physically demanding as it is, I would like to see him like put on some mass.
for sure.
He needs to get in the weight room a little
He
bit.
needs to get on a Salah.
And I think
level.
if he does that, I really think he could be a very, very good player. I'm just concerned with like his longevity because he's got such a small frame,
Yeah.
So that.
We'll
all
see,
right.
but yeah.
So we got anything else for Liverpool? Just Trent hanging out
No,
with
I
the Galacticos at restaurants and whatnot. Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, we have a couple players that could be leaving.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully.
I saw Marseille try to get Endo for like 11 million pounds.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
It would be really sad to lose him. I hope
No
that
way
never
you're
happens.
letting him go
You
for
guys don't,
11.
you don't think you guys need a CDM?
I think he's a good
He's
holding
very. I
player.
love that guy. And
think he's a good
I
holding
love
player.
him, man.
The thing is, if he gets
Dude.
injured, we don't have really a player that can step in his kind of role.
Yeah, so you got to keep him. So the whole.
Honestly,
we need
I've
him.
always thought Endo is like your backup player.
That's what I
even if
thought.
how good he is.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Captain of
performed.
Japan, man.
I don't know. He proved us
He's-
wrong, man. I watched the games. He's solid.
I like him, man.
He's solid.
I like him a lot.
But I mean,
Yeah.
the one player I'm worried that we lose is Kelleher,
Okay.
the backup goalkeeper. If we lose him, he has good potential. If we
Really?
lose him, I'd be kind of upset. Also, Allison's 31. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
That's
what do we
nothing
have?
for goalkeepers, man.
That's true, but he's been kind of. I don't know. I feel like he's been a little more rusty than him.
You think
You
so?
know, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get 2-3 more seasons out of him.
Okay.
We
All
need
right.
a good goalkeeper. So if we lose Kelleher, I don't know why Luis Diaz is still in our team. I thought he would have left by now. I don't like Luis Diaz, like personally. I
He's so fun to watch, but the like the end product, like the production, is just not there.
his numbers.
But he's
are-
just like fun to watch. Like he's
Yeah.
electric.
But he's another one
it
that
just doesn't-
performed in the Copa.
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
He overperforms for his team, Colombia, and he doesn't perform for us. So I don't know. I hope. I not hope, but I mean, I'd like to see him go, and we bring in another player that has more. Can produce more. But
Maybe another player like Savinho, Amir.
oh,
Is that a nice transition over
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Manchester
let's go.
City? Huh? All right. What do you think about this guy that we just got? He's the one player that we got.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was a starter. I mean, not a starter for Brazil, but he would come on during the Copa America
He
on the
scored,
right wing.
11 goals in La Liga last season and 5
Really?
assists.
Yeah.
He was a key player for Girona. I want to see where he would fit, but because he's more a winger, like on the right or left.
Yeah.
But we already have Duku,
Yeah.
and I want to see Oscar Bob.
I want to
Get
see
more
Oscar Bob
minutes.
too, man.
And
I love Oscar
and
Bob.
that's what I worry that Savinho is coming
Yeah.
to start,
Yeah.
and we bench Oscar Bob.
Yeah. Me too.
Because I would rather build on Oscar Bob the same
too.
way we did with Foden, the same way we
Yes.
did with our academy players, than bringing people from outside. I think he doesn't speak English, so it's gonna take him time to actually like adapt with the players and the city and everything.
Maybe
So
got to keep Bernardo then. Translate Portuguese.
yeah, I mean he has Ederson too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He
Well,
got-
Ederson, we don't know it.
he
Yeah.
he has help there, but I mean he could be a key player, but maybe not from the beginning. From what I'm seeing in preseason, Pep is relying heavily on Oscar Bob to play on that right,
Yeah.
which I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
Which I mean, when we start talking about the teams and how they're going to perform, I think I have a take on how Man City is going to play
Yeah.
next season. I personally think now is the best time to sell Bernardo Silva and get a left-footed center midfielder to help. Like
Do you have a name in mind that you'd like?
I do not.
Okay. Danny Elmo? Well, you're not.
Maybe,
That's
but,
good.
Because we're linked with him.
but think
And
about
Eze.
Fabian Ruiz.
I love Fabian Ruiz.
I mean, we need someone that will give you the same exact work rate. You need like
Dude,
that.
that's hard to find.
Fabian
you-
Ruiz is a pretty. I
But
mean,
Bernardo Silva's work rate is like second to none.
Fabian
Man.
Ruiz is more of a defender. Actually, he proved to be a really good fit to play with Rodri in that
yeah,
midfield. They
yeah.
played amazing
Yeah,
in the
I agree.
Euros.
Yeah.
But think about it. De Bruyne is losing. He's less fit. He's not covering
We might have
defensively. Foden is not really that defensive guy
no.
either. So you need someone.
Don't you think Foden is like I hate to say it, but like it could be like the last year of Pep and the last year of Kevin as well. And I just feel like Foden is just going to slide into Kevin's role like just naturally. He's going to be the new number 10. So I agree with you. We probably need some guys behind him that can address the defensive.
You need like a
needs.
box to box, solid
Yeah.
midfielder.
Yeah.
But I don't have a name.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, Danny Olmo actually played really good in the Euros defensively too. Like he was a key player in pressure and checking back. He even made that save against England the last minute, the header that was going to go
crazy,
in.
man.
Yeah, I mean,
Insane.
so that's a lot of potential. But
Yes.
I've never seen Danny Olmo in like a box to box position.
Right.
So
You guys are heavily linked with him.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of rumors with him and Man City.
and Barcelona too.
In Barcelona, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think now that we've played a year without Gundogan, we need that like tactician in the midfield. We definitely missed a tactician in the midfield last year so much that there is still a gap. From
Is De
when
Bruyne
Gundogan
not
left.
that player? I mean, he was injured half of the season.
He was injured.
Is he not the technician?
I feel like De Bruyne is better like in like creating those quick transitions for you.
Okay.
But like when you rely on De Bruyne to physically like
Track back.
track back and coach that game
Gotcha.
towards like slow the pace, make it faster.
Yeah.
I feel like De Bruyne is always like more proactive, like in making the balls, like make those runs. Like once players see De Bruyne has the ball, they're making those runs so he can like give them
They
that
know
through
he'll
pass.
find them, yeah.
He's not the one that is holding the ball. Let's slow down a bit and like control the game a bit. So I feel like Pep would like that.
Yeah.
But I think I have more to talk about that when we talk
fair
about
enough.
the teams.
Just to go back on the Oscar Bob thing, I know this might be just like me being too obsessed with the guy, but like when we lost Cole Palmer, I was like, I truly believe Pep is okay with losing Cole Palmer. And now Cole Palmer went on to have an amazing season. Now he's like a world-class player. Oh yeah. I don't think I was anticipating that, but I think we were comfortable losing him because of Oscar Bob. I really thought
Really?
that. Yeah. And when he had that game-winning goal against Newcastle, when it was like Kevin's first game back and we were down 2 goals with like 20 minutes left, and he scored the game-winning goal, I was like, see, we don't need that guy in Chelsea anymore. No, but obviously Cole Palmer is an amazing player, but I love Oscar Bob.
He's not a starter though, right?
Yeah.
No, but I'd like to see him put into that role. I think he'd really
And I think
make
that's what
noise.
Pep is trying to do, put him in on the right wing.
Yeah.
So he'll be like the next Cole Palmer.
couple Norwegians on the
Yeah.
front line.
We'll see.
Yeah,
It'll be a lot of fun to watch.
All right.
I have one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Grealish is going to be a key player,
Yeah, I agree.
Really?
I agree.
Dude,
I think it's gonna be a good year for him. I
but not on the wing.
do.
I-
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's a hot
Okay.
take.
I know. I feel like Pep is going to rely on fast wingers. He's
Yeah.
probably going to flip it to like 3 in the back, but a traditional 3 in the back with more players in the midfield, where Grealish can step into that Gundogan role.
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he's
He
got
would
the
be good for that.
He's got the skill set to do that role very well. The man comes back and defends really
and the
well. He's got
physique.
And
pace,
he's a
the
great
physique,
ball
yeah.
carrier.
Yeah, great ball carrier.
I mean, probably doesn't like shoot as much as we
Yeah.
want him to, but he's a
He
good.
can take some shots outside the box.
Yeah,
you
he's a
know?
good passer.
Yeah.
He already understands the tactics.
Hey, if Pep can morph him at this, I mean, he's not young anymore, right?
Yeah.
So like, but if Pep can morph him into that type of role, I think that would be
Yeah.
fantastic. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
As a Man City fan, you don't want to see a left back, a traditional left back.
Like a new left back,
Yeah, like a very traditional left back.
very traditional left back.
We're talking about like cliche or what?
Do I want a very traditional left back?
Someone like Andy Robertson.
I gotta be honest, man, I really started warming up to Yasko towards the end of the
Yeah.
season. And I know like we had a lot of conversations like individually, you and I, where I was just like bashing this dude for like the first half of the season. But the dude came on so like in the beginning it looked like he didn't know where he needed to be. It's like positioning was his biggest problem, and he doesn't have the pace to keep up if he's in a poor position. And I remember seeing like Pep like yelling at this dude. I remember there was one random game, I think it was like a Carabao Cup game. He got benched at halftime because Pep was unhappy with his performance or something like that. But I don't know, man. The guy like stuck with it, took the criticism, which you love to see from a new guy. Like when a new guy joins Man City, just they have to understand like you're gonna get called out for every little mistake that you make, and that you're gonna get yelled at, and you're gonna be like drilled on what you need to do. So for him to like go through all of that and to come out the way he did by the end of the season, I think I'd be really okay with sticking with him at left back, at least to start the season. If you want to get a backup to like cover for him, because we put a lot of strain on that guy. But
Yeah.
by the end of the year, he was like pushing us, pulling the team forward, and scoring goals and whatnot. Like, if you want to get another left back, I mean, we did lose Sergio Gomez.
Yeah.
We did lose him. He went to Real
So we don't have
Sociedad.
we don't have
So we probably
a
do need to
backup.
get somebody. But in terms of a guy that would actually like supersede Yasko, I don't think I'd be looking for that. Guy to back him up would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, you guys want to move on to Arsenal, our favorite team? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
They've been busy too.
Huh?
They've been busy.
They've been busy. Okay, so first guy, Ricardo Calafiore. What do you guys have you guys heard that they already have a song for him?
No,
Arsenal
yeah.
fans are the best. I gotta say, they're the
gotta
best. with
sing
song. It's like when like that Italian song, when the moon hits the blah blah
Oh, yeah,
blah, Calafiore. Like they
Ah,
already started doing that,
that's a
dude.
good one.
They're really like, I got a cousin that's an
Those
Arsenal
London
fan,
fans.
so like I get a lot of Arsenal talk from him all the time and whatnot, and just they really are the best with the songs, man. They get a new player, new song next day, man. It's impressive. What do you
He's
guys think of this guy, though?
I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about him from what I saw in the Italy games. I mean, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't have any good experiences with any Italians playing in the Premier League.
Uh huh.
I mean, can you name one player? I'm probably missing a player.
Yeah.
Name one Italian player that has
Looked good.
dazzled and
Dude,
sparked in the Premier League. A lot of the
Tonali
times they
dazzled.
struggle.
Yeah.
Dude,
got
Tonali was
Zola
dazzling before he
Back
got.
in the day with
who?
Chelsea, Zola.
Zola, okay, yeah, that's a good one. Tonali, I
He
mean,
was dazzling before what happened,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, it's
He
it's a
looked really
very
good.
hard league to
Yeah.
jump
Oh,
into.
Yeah.
Odoji is playing really good with Spurs.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he was in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Now he
Yeah.
kind of.
They
I
did have
don't.
to loan him out the first year they had him, and then
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a hard jump from
Yeah.
Serie A to Premier League.
Is
Mm-hmm.
it really?
I don't know. I mean, you get players like Lukaku, they score 30 goals, and then they come to the Premier
a good
League
point.
where they like learn like, oh, okay, maybe I underestimated it. I don't think.
Yeah, but Italians just historically know how to defend, bro. They
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I feel like that's like their thing,
But
Like
this
I,
guy proved in the Euros that he can actually attack too,
Yes,
which
yes.
I think he's gonna replace Zinchenko in that team.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about Zinchenko, man, because I watched him in the man looked really, really good in preseason. I feel like he's okay. If Arsenal decided if Arteta decided we're gonna do three in the back and have a left wing back and a right wing back, I really think that's the best position for Zinchenko. But when you're asking him to play traditional left back role, meaning he has more defensive duties, I feel like that's where he struggles. So I know I'm kind of putting him in a place where it's like, hey man, you'd only be good if you played left wing back. But his vision and his passes are like so.
I don't
You know
think
what I
he's going to be a starter. I think Timber. Now that Timber is back, I mean Timber is a left back and a center back.
dude's
I don't think he's ever going to get center back.
They,
but
they may
guy's a
lose.
monster.
They
he
may,
started the season
Yeah.
last season. The first game, Timber did start.
Yeah.
I mean instead of Gabriel, I think. But
Yep.
I think they're gonna lose Gabriel.
you think he's going to get
So
sold?
I think his starter is gonna be Saliba, Timber, and then that guy Calafiori.
That'd be a big loss. Gabriel and Saliba are the best
They were really good,
duo in the league. I
Yeah,
think.
but Gabriel has been saying like it seems like he has wanted to leave for a very long
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
time.
but they're like right on the. I mean, they're like right on the cusp of like winning the league, man. I don't know if they want to.
That'd be a
If
loss.
I had to get honestly, if I had to guess what Arteta does to start the year, I would probably he'd probably go three in the back and have Calafiori as a left wing back and Ben White as a right wing back.
Do you
and
think
have
Calafiori-
Timber, Gabrielle, and Saliba as three center?
How much did he spend on this guy?
Calafiori was a decent
60 mil.
40. I have the number
45.
right here. 1 second.
I don't know, man. He's not. I don't know if he's going to start right away. Arteta's the kind of guy that
45
gives
million euro.
45
Arteta
million.
waits.
That's not
waits
nothing.
for people. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't plug them into the lineup.
Yeah.
Like Fabio Vieira. What's that guy? Kiwi or whatever.
Zinchenko came and got that spot right away, and so did Jesus.
And Jesus.
Man City.
But those are guys that have experience playing in the Premier League. So I actually kind of, now that we're talking it out loud, I see what you're saying about, like, maybe if he got a player that was already had experience in the Premier League, he's okay with starting him right away. But if he's getting a guy from Bologna, maybe you gotta
He's gonna
let him
come in
feel-
at the 78th minute and kind of lower it down a little.
Havertz started right away because he's played in the Premier League already.
I don't know. I mean, with this guy, with the amount of potential he had and the amount of like interest from other clubs,
We'll see.
for him to come specifically to Arsenal, which is like, I mean, they're trying to win the league.
It's a statement.
Yeah.
It is a statement for the player, but it is also they had to like give him something like, hey, you're gonna be a key player for us.
I have
be,
high
yeah.
hopes for him.
Because there were high hopes for him, like in other clubs too. Like there was a lot of interest. From other
Arteta
clubs.
could be telling you, like, I mean, in Arteta's mind, he could be like, you know what, I'm going to start off the season with Zinchenko, but that dude is on very, very, very thin ice. And maybe, sometimes managers will get players. Obviously, you want the player, you want to play him, and he's a good player, whatever. But sometimes it lights a fire in the guy that plays his position, and you get that guy to also light a fire in this guy to like be on your P's and Q's, and like let's not make those mistakes that cost us games, Zinchenko. So
Speaking of that, I want to get your takes on like the front line. Jesus, Nketiah, Martinelli.
Nketiah's gone.
Those were players that really underperformed last season. And I think they were partly to blame. So are you guys expecting Jesus is going to get replaced in the starting lineup? Are they going to get another attacker? You guys have any, like, you think that's a transfer that needs to get done? What do you think they
Who's
need
the
to
guy,
do?
though?
What do you think Arsenal needs to do to get first place? That they haven't done, because they got the players last season. They got Havertz. They got what are they missing?
They get Tony.
Get Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney?
A guy that can just like finish in the box. Yeah,
That would be a
probably.
good player.
Probably that would be the thing that puts them over the edge. Is
yeah,
getting a
that would be
striker.
Imagine all of these players creating for Ivan.
Oh
Toney.
man, Saka would be giving him assists left
I mean,
and right.
like, okay, I'm a Man City fan, right? But from Arsenal's perspective, you're looking at a guy. You're competing with a team. Really, like you're only competing with Man City, right? Sorry to say, because Chelsea and Liverpool are in
fair.
transitionary, like they're in transition this season with their new managers, and Tottenham. We'll touch on Tottenham, but like Man United, we'll touch on them later. But basically, I think if you're Arsenal, you're like, this is our competition is Man City, and they got a guy that like scores 20 plus goals in his sleep every year. So maybe the thought is we need to get someone that can do. Obviously, Erling Haalands don't grow on trees, but you want to get someone that can produce even close to that,
I hope they do that. I hope somebody out there is thinking that.
Yeah.
And it's not just us three in this room, because
Yeah.
I think I do agree with you guys. I think that would be really the key,
Yeah.
the missing puzzle piece.
Yeah.
So that would be like Ivan Toney, like Amir said. Maybe Ollie Watkins, although I don't think he would leave Aston Villa right now. I like Solanke a lot. Dominic Solanke, I think that would be a good move for them. But
Under the radar,
yeah.
I think the thing about Ivan Toney, he already has a reputation in the Premier League. Like
Yeah.
those defenders are already scared of him.
Yeah.
If you bring that guy, put him on an Arsenal
Yeah.
team that everyone is scared of, and he is like he's gonna be your penalty kick taker. He's gonna be
Yes.
your target man.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like. I think he's like the best fit for the team. Is he dynamic enough to allow that movement up front? Because like the front three for Arsenal are always like very fluid.
Yeah.
In terms of movement, I'm not sure, but if they build on him, like he's the target man, like the Harry Kane for
Yeah.
Spurs.
Yeah.
I think that
He's a
would be
big
lot.
personality you're bringing into that locker room, though. Like, they got a really good kind of cohesive unit as of right now. And, like, I don't know, some people talk about him as, like, he can be kind of abrasive or, like, kind of difficult to deal with in the locker room. I think some people are a bit upset with how he handled the whole, like, getting banned for that long for gambling, but then also talking about wanting a transfer. It's kind of like you're not really showing loyalty to Brentford.
But that's how a striker should be.
Yeah, that's a good rebuttal.
naive
That's a
and
great
that, like,
rebuttal, honestly.
that's
Strikers got to be
that's how
like
a
they got to be
striker should be.
ruthless, right?
Strikers got to have a
They
little
have to be
thing wrong in their
ruthless.
brain, man.
True.
Mitrovic,
Good point. Yeah,
Cantona.
Mitrovic.
yeah,
Like,
they have to be
yeah.
ruthless. True. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, I wanted to touch on this. So, Emile Smith Rowe on Arsenal going to Fulham for what was it, 44 million
Yeah, it was a
euros
lot.
or something like that?
I'm happy for the guy, man.
What do you think about that, guys?
He deserves a chance. He was a great. I mean, he was the number 10 man. He
Yeah.
he had a great
He is
first
the-
season.
Yeah.
He's still, yeah, but he
Yeah.
had a great first season. I think his like his self esteem and his confidence went down after all those the pecking order got so high. I mean, Saka,
Yeah.
all these players ahead of him.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna do good. Fulham. I mean, like I said, I predict him to have like a 8 goal, 6 assists kind of season,
Really?
which is respectable. That's like under 10 goals. I don't.
Yeah.
If he got above 10 goals, that's a great season. But
Yeah.
I picture him having like maybe 14 contributions, something like that. I think he's a good
I
addition.
could see 10 and 10 for him easily. Because that
In-
team
at
lost.
Fulham?
Yeah, that team lost Polinia. I think he's a really talented player. And I don't know, like Fulham, they're just like a savvy. Yeah, we'll take your top 6 reject and we'll show you how good
Yeah.
he's supposed to be. Bernd Leno is another example of that.
Oh,
He was a
yeah.
reject from
Masterpiece.
Arsenal that I think he was tops in the league last year in saves, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't know, they just do a good job of like taking in these players. They do a good job of bringing in like young talent that end up getting sold for lots of money later on, but bringing in guys that establish themselves but maybe haven't reached the heights that they're supposed to, and then showcasing how good they could be. I
Yeah.
don't know, I think he could have a really good season.
They got a good coach too.
Yeah.
Fabio Silva,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean with bringing a striker in, and that so Smith Rowe would play under him. I think that would help a lot.
Yeah.
With Alex, I'm looking at their transfers now. They actually made a lot of good transfers.
Yeah.
Castanier, Alex Ayubi,
Mm-hmm.
Adama Traore. Is he?
Yeah.
Is he going also? He was. Part of
No,
Fulham?
I think he
Oh,
just
he's
moved.
going. Okay.
And they just got Ryan Sessegnon on a free
That was the one I was thinking.
from
Of.
Yeah.
Tottenham as well.
That's a good.
He's a good player if
I-
he stays healthy. He just gets into
I
it
think
a
they're
lot.
making a lot of good moves.
They're savvy. They're like a savvy.
Yeah.
And their
you know.
striker is good too. What Munez or I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the right coach and
Uh,
the right tactics, they could definitely secure.
I'm
top
happy
10.
for him.
Moyes.
I'm happy for him.
They could
Yeah.
be the next Aston Villa.
Can I
mean,
say
no,
something
that's
else?
not
And I know, like, I'm jumping the gun on player to watch the season, and maybe this is just me being emotional, but like, anybody watch the Man United Arsenal preseason game?
No.
No.
I watched the first half. Okay, Arsenal's got a player named Ethan. It's like I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Nwaneri. Waneri. I don't know how to
Okay.
pronounce that right. 17-year-old kid, midfielder, British guy. The kid is a beast. I was watching this team. Dude, the guy outplayed Odegaard. He outplayed like all the. To me, I thought he was like the best player in that first half of that game.
Okay.
So I kind of looked, and then I watched that game, and then we get this news a few days later of Emile Smith Rowe going to Fulham. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, he could be like. Sometimes I look at it as they're seeing how this guy's performing in the preseason. And you're like, you know what? We'll take the 100% profit of Emile Smith Rowe right now because we got another kid coming up that might just be as good or even better than him.
Nwaneri?
Yeah, Ethan.
Nwaneri.
Yeah, 17 years old.
Yeah.
Kid is awesome.
He's in the Arsenal Academy.
Yeah. So maybe they saw how he was performing. Like, you know what? We can afford to sell Emile Smith Rowe. And like I said, it's pure profit when he's an academy player, right? So, yeah. Boom.
Did
All
he
right.
play last year? Did he start at all?
No, at all. Yeah, but it's just like
Yeah.
Emile Smith Rowe. Barely saw him.
Because there was that kid, like a 16-year-old or like something that
At
started,
Arsenal?
like they played like 1 minute of a Premier League game. I wasn't sure if that's him or not.
I don't
I
remember.
remember that, but yeah, I don't know who that was.
I don't remember either.
All right, let's get moving here, guys. Let's get on Man United here. So they have been pretty busy.
Man who?
surprising.
Man, who?
Man,
Yeah. So Man United, let's see. So far, they have acquired Lenny Euro, French guy from Lille.
Overpaid, overspent.
Overpaid, overspent. I don't know. Some people are saying he's like the next
personally,
Saliba.
I have no idea.
Typical Manchester United, overpaying for players that will not add anything.
Overhyping. Yeah.
Not add anything. And Xerxes, overpaid
And they
again.
got Joshua Zirkzee, who's the Dutch guy, right? From also from Bologna. Wow. Okay. I watched him a little bit in the Euros when he would like come in. I didn't see anything that made me think like this is a guy that's going to contribute right away.
He got into that squad, by the way, like just because of an injury. He was left out of the Netherlands squad, and then
Yeah.
there was a last-minute injury to, I don't know, Kooppenheimers or one of the players, and they just stuck him in. So
Yeah. What do
I
you
don't
guys
know.
think of the approach though? Like Man United, I feel like historically is a team that because they are Man United, they're like we're going to wait for a guy right before he hits his prime, and then we're going to grab him, and then he's going to be the best for us, and that's it. But this is a different approach. They're taking these young guys that maybe like
Yeah.
are, you know, not ready to contribute right away, but they can build them up and let them develop, and maybe there'll be something. You know?
I mean, Xerxes. It's kind of interesting because he's Dutch.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You
Is
think
am
there's
I?
some favoritism there?
Yeah, I mean,
Wouldn't
isn't
be
the coach?
surprised.
Is the coach Dutch?
But
Yeah,
the-
he's
Yeah,
he's
he's
Dutch as well.
Dutch.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that kind of mentorship.
Yeah.
But do you think he's gonna burn Hoyland for Xerxes?
No, Hoyland is starting for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Hoyland is the key man in that front line.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's good to see them getting young players because they've had a habit of getting players at the tier end
Yeah.
of their career, like Casemiro,
Yep.
Varane, and you get one good season out of them, and then what do you do after that?
Yeah.
So it's good to see them actually trying to think outside the box. But this is not a permanent, a temporary solution. I mean,
Fair enough.
it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a couple seasons like Arsenal to build.
Yeah.
I mean, they have that new management that's bringing in a new strategy with their transfers.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like they want to copy. Like they said, they want to copy the City project. So
Sure.
they're actually bringing in people from. They even got one of the top guys in the like that worked for City
Yep.
to help actually like with these transfers too. So I think they are trying to employ a new strategy here with those young players, but again with the overpaying,
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing, man.
I just cannot do it. Like I mean,
Yeah.
your menu, you already have the money.
Yep.
I mean, can you be smarter about it to save some money here and there? Probably not.
Take a
There
look
are
at
talks
Jadon
that
Sancho's wages, and then that'll tell you
Yeah.
the answer to that.
There-
Liverpool is the king of wages and transfers.
Yeah, I mean, your menu, you go to negotiate with the club about a player, they're just gonna ask you like 50 mil
Yeah.
to start, whatever that player is, and then you
Yeah.
put that price tag on that player, and you put a
Right.
lot of pressure on them to perform.
Yeah.
And what if they don't? Is that the right way to?
I would take some of
build?
that money and maybe try to hire a roofer to fix the roof of Old
Yeah.
Trafford.
Yeah.
Maybe you do that. You guys saw at the end of the season,
Yeah.
there's water pouring through the roof and everything like that. Maybe take some of that money and improve the facilities. Do you guys remember when Cristiano Ronaldo left the club, and obviously he left on bad terms or whatever, but I remember he did an interview, he was talking about, I left this club like 15 years ago or whatever it was, and I came back. I expected to see like new equipment, new facilities, new thing. It was all the same stuff that I was using 15 years ago, and I thought,
That's
well, that's a
embarrassing.
bit strange. So maybe these guys could bringing in these guys to come in and help them like bring them into the 21st century. It could be bad news for all of us because if they start righting the ship, we could all be in trouble because we know it's Man United. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world. They're always going to have the money to buy the players that they want. So we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just surprised at like how poor the infrastructure of the club is, but I guess that's reflected in how the team is performing. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's gonna depend on their business strategy and if the owners will let like
Yeah.
that new management team to do their work like freely without
yeah.
no intervention and pressure.
What about Sancho? Is he he's back now?
You think
Is
he
he gonna
stays?
play? Is he staying? Did he
I don't know, man.
apologize?
I don't think
'Cause
he's
I know
in their.
the manager wanted him to apologize or whatever.
I don't think he's in their plans.
don't think
I
so?
think he's out. He's out the door.
But no, who's gonna take his
Honestly.
wages though? Have you seen the man's weight? Hold on, I gotta.
Is it really? Is it like
Oh my-
145? What are we talking about?
Hold on, let me. You
I
guys.
think
But think about it. I mean, Sancho also
Anthony, Sancho, Rashford need to leave.
I mean, put yourself in Sancho's shoes. This guy was just playing the Champions League final a couple
Now he's
months
back
ago, and now his coach just said he apologized. What is he apologizing for? This guy literally just went to another team and proved you wrong.
Ten Hag wants to make an example of him.
I
Yeah.
don't think he would stay either.
I think he should leave.
300,000 Egyptian. I mean, English pounds a week. 300,000.
Yeah, that's one of the top paid players.
Yeah.
in the
He's going to be a
Premier League.
bench player if he doesn't
So who's-
transfer.
yeah.
He's going to end up rotting on the bench, like we've seen so many Manchester United players. That's what's going to happen. It's so sad.
I think.
Ten Hag's got to just wipe the slate clean and give him a chance, man.
I think he should leave though.
Yeah. But who's
Yeah.
gonna?
I mean, they
Nobody
lost
in.
Anthony.
Juventus.
They lost Anthony Martial.
yeah.
I think he
that's
already
good.
officially left.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're losing. I mean, they brought Lenny Euro,
They need to get
And,
rid of Anthony ASAP.
Varane is leaving, probably.
He already left Tacoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
They need to get rid of Anthony like now.
But it's gonna be a total loss. You're not gonna get anything for him now.
That's fine, man. Cut it while you can.
That's like Chelsea stuff.
Yeah. Good transition. Let's move on to Chelsea now.
Let's do it.
What the heck is this team doing, man?
Why do they have Sterling still?
maybe
I
we
almost
should-
forgot he was a player.
Maybe we should avoid Chelsea, actually.
In Cuckoo, I mean, like, what a waste.
Do you guys see
They got
any
Tosin
change?
Ada. I don't know how to say his
Do you
last
guys
name,
see
but
any change in how they're approaching this?
No.
I think it's everything is just get Palmer in the field, and then we'll figure out what happens after that. I don't know what starting 11 is going to start with him, but as long as Palmer is on the field, that's their game plan. Literally, they start with Palmer, and then they pick random 10 players.
They got Mark Gui from. They got Dewsbury Hall.
They didn't
okay?
get Mark Gui, did he?
Yeah.
No
They got
way.
him?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that is a solid.
They got him. They got Tosin Adarabiayo. He's from our academy. I don't know if you remember him.
All right, if we follow
Yeah.
Chelsea's transfer news, I think we'll get lost. Maybe
Yeah.
we should try
Yeah.
to see
Put it in there.
who do you guys think Chelsea actually need to make it back like top six?
I think they need
I mean,
like.
they already made the top six like barely.
I think they need like addition
But-
by. I think they would like do well from like addition by subtraction. The good thing is Mark Cucurella had a really good Euros, so he's going to come into that team with confidence. Cole Palmer was so influential anytime he was on the field.
I think
so that's
Jackson is a
great.
good player.
But
So.
if
But they got a
will
lot. They
show-
got a lot of. They got a lot of like.
Yeah, too
I gotta
much.
say, man, they got a lot of knuckleheads on that team, and I feel like they could do with just like cleaning some of that out. Like the guys that were. I mean, we all saw when they were like fighting over taking the penalty. You guys
Yeah.
remember that towards the
Yeah,
end of the year.
that's-
I think you got some like immature players on that team that maybe need to be like think, oh well, I'm on Chelsea. I'm this. I'm that. You know, they could do
Yeah.
well with getting rid of some guys to just kind of make that locker room more. Because I feel like Thiago Silva was just because he's such a great leader, was just like hanging on by a thread of trying to maintain this locker room. And now they lost that guy. I'm looking at this team. I don't see any like leaders that will kind of show everyone this is the Chelsea way of how to
Conor
go about
Gallagher.
things.
Conor
There-
Gallagher's
there
a
are rumors
captain.
that he's leaving too.
Oh, because he was the one player I
Yeah.
would say is a
Yeah.
captain. He's like a Henderson, Jordan Henderson
So I
kind
mean,
of player.
Yeah.
when you talk about
But even then, he
Chelsea,
couldn't. Yeah.
Can you? I mean, I think they're gonna start with Robert Sanchez in keeper.
Are they really?
Unless they're
I thought they were going to get another goalkeeper.
They
At least I saw
may, but-
rumors about it.
yeah. So who will be their key defender?
They're
Cucurella
missing a
and,
center back.
Like who would be a center back?
Oh, well, they got Did they get
Yeah,
Mark
Cole-
Gou?
they
Because
have-
I didn't see it.
They have
I've seen it
Colwell.
here. Yeah.
They have Colwell, which is potential.
Yeah. They got a lot of guys, man. I don't know. It's going to be
Yeah.
like, I think, and you got a new manager as well that's going to implement a new system.
We'll
I
see.
think, I think for at least the first, 6 to 10 matches for Chelsea, you're going to see completely different starting 11s like every single. I don't think you're going to see a lot of continuity as he tries to figure out how to make these guys all work
But
together.
they shouldn't because they have in midfield they have Enzo Fernandez, and they have what's the
Well, Gallagher started. They have Drewsbury Hall. They
they
just got.
Yeah,
Gallagher?
if I'm the manager, I'm going in there and being like, none of you have proven to me that you're worthy of starting, except maybe Cole Palmer and Cucurella.
But they paid
Everybody
so much
else-
for them.
Yeah.
He cannot just.
Well, I
say
mean,
that.
he has to play the best 11 to win matches, right? So I think everybody's gonna be on like a clean slate.
They-
And it's gonna
yeah,
be how they
Caicedo.
perform. Yeah,
They paid 140 mil for that guy.
I can't understand. I know
Yeah.
he started playing a lot better towards the end of the season,
He's
but
22. I mean,
I don't think there's any.
Yeah, so I mean, I think
Justification for
for
that fee.
Chelsea, I mean, you have a good midfield. Maybe
I
they
don't think-
just need they need to be consistent. And the problem is when they start performing, you go and sack the manager,
Yeah,
and you bring Maresca, who's he helped Leicester City get back in the Premier League,
yep.
but
let's be
now
honest, they were
he
gonna-
has
they were
he
gonna
has a
come up
lot to
anyway.
learn now.
Yeah.
But they're saying, I mean, he was
Yeah.
shadowing Pep for some time, so
I don't think they buy any players. In my opinion, if they
I
get-
heard they made an offer. I don't remember who it was. They made a bid for like 70 million for another guy.
I
But
think
I
this
think
team.
honestly that could
Yeah.
be like a news thing now.
Yeah.
Like whenever there's any rumor, they just go
Yeah.
ahead and put like Chelsea made an offer just for
Yeah,
the headlines.
maybe,
It
yeah.
could be not true as
I think
well.
they get rid of 3-4 players, even if it's on loan. Loan some players out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, you guys good with Chelsea? You want to move on to Tottenham?
Let's do it. Is that the
Oh,
last of
Last
the
of the top
six?
six, yeah. So okay, so for me, Tottenham, I have to say, man, I'm really like kind of I want to say partially excited for this club.
Really?
Yes. I feel like this transfer window, they have gotten rid of so much. I'm just going to say it as it is. They get rid of so much dead weight on this team. Like imagine you're like walking through a desert and you got like bags on you're carrying and they're just like weighing you down and you're sweating and it's hot and these bags are weighing you down. I feel like what they did was just like let go of that bag and they just started sprinting because look at the names that they got rid of. They got rid of Eric Dyer, he's gone, Bayern Munich, whatever. Ivan Perisic, very old player that would only come on because he could only play like 10, 20 minutes and that was basically it. Ryan Sessegnon, who got injured all the time and just was not working out for them because of his health. They finally got rid of Tengoy and Dombele. Do you remember that name, Amir? Because I was obsessed with that guy.
Man, he
Because
had
when
a
he was
lot
on
of
Lyon, he
potential.
lit us up,
He had a
and I
lot of
wanted us to get him. And he went on that. He went on Tottenham and started eating at least 5 to 10 cheeseburgers a day. Okay, and he was on there. He was their highest paid player on based on wages last season. He wasn't even on the team last season. So they finally were able to get rid of that guy. That was a lot of dead weight, and they've moved on from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who is now with Marseille. I don't know how you guys feel about Højbjerg, but I would watch him and be like, dude, that's barbecue chicken for everybody else. Like
He was a beast under
he's-
Mourinho.
I think he was. Yeah.
Maybe on
Under
Mourinho,
He
but
was the
Tottenham-
engine.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at him like, dude, that's like they're licking their
Yeah.
chops when he's out there trying to defend them. So I don't know. I looked at this club like they got rid of a lot of dead weight, a lot of older players that weren't doing it for him, and they've had a mostly quiet transfer window in terms of bringing in guys. But they're a team that I feel like
I'm
could,
seeing a
you
lot of
know,
gaps, man. I'm looking
How
at
so?
I'm looking at their squad.
Yeah.
I don't know where the goals are coming from.
Well, they're linked with Ivan Toney. So
They better be.
They're
linked to
talking
somewhere.
about selling Richarlison to Saudi and getting they're close. I think they're close to getting the 60 million they spent on him, and then they'll probably turn around and use that to get Ivan Toney.
Are
So
they
imagine that
keeping-
piece of business right there.
Timo Werner is back to
is.
Germany, right?
No, I think
Or
Timo
are
Werner.
they keeping him?
I
He's
believe
on
so.
loan
Yeah.
still, that's what
No,
I
I
see,
believe
yeah.
they're keeping him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they extended him for another year.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about their midfield? I mean, they're missing. A solid. I don't see like a holding box to box midfielder.
They have
A Basuma?
Basuma, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
You got
their
Basuma, Papa,
Basuma.
Sarr,
Yeah,
and you got Madison. That's probably going to be their 3 starting midfielders.
injury prone?
And
But
And
yeah.
Madison had before he got hurt, he was. They got to get more than him because I think
Yeah.
they're. I don't know why this team never gave Lo Celso a chance, and to me, Lo
Exactly.
Celso's such an underrated player.
and you have Bentancur too,
Yeah,
if he's staying.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, that winning goal in the Copa America that Lautaro scored, Lo Celso assisted it.
Yeah.
A really, really cheeky assist as
He
well.
was injured though.
Yeah.
For
So
some
I mean,
time.
you don't really have much in terms of like creating chances in Tottenham's midfield, so they definitely gotta address that. They're kind of a team where I like Mickey Van de Ven a lot.
He's
You know,
good, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they got rid of Emerson Royale as well. Just a lot of dead weight that they got rid of, man. So they're gonna bring in some fresh blood. I'm anticipating. I think they're linked with Eze and they're linked with Ivan Toney.
Ooh,
If
that
they
would
can
be a
get
great-
Eze
that'd be
and
great.
Ivan Toney,
Yeah.
I don't know,
be
man.
great.
Watch out for Tottenham. Not
They-
not in terms of anything like
Fifth
crazy,
place.
crazy, but
Actually, Eze was linked with Man City too.
yeah.
I hope not.
For
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah.
I think
as
it's
a-
more
as a
likely he goes
midfielder.
to Tottenham than he comes to us, which I think would be a really good move for him.
He
Yeah.
seems like
You know?
he has the kind of high status, to be in a city team.
Yeah, I think he would be. I think he'd be perfect for Tottenham. Honestly, I don't know how well he would fit with us, but like for Tottenham, the way they press on the ball, they like have a high line, so they have constantly like in attack mode or whatever. I feel like he'd be very suited in that system.
Let's see, man. If I hope in my lifetime, I will see them win.
Yeah, yeah. Just wait for the hot takes. We'll get there. All right, you guys got anything else? You guys got any other transfers you want to talk about?
Well, Aston Villa,
Okay.
they got rid of Diaby, didn't they? Huh?
They got,
Yeah.
I expected that to
I
happen. I expected that to happen
it just
because
doesn't make sense to me.
if
man.
you remember, they started benching him a lot,
Yeah.
and they started playing. Who's the Jamaican.
The Jamaican.
I'm blanking. Who's the starter on the wing?
The starter on the
blanking
wing.
Let's
They
see.
got
We all know him.
Leon Bailey,
Leon Bailey. Okay, yeah. Leon
Jamaican.
Bailey,
Yeah, they started putting him instead.
Mm-hmm.
He was starting instead of Diaby.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think like Diaby started the first like I don't know 10 games and he was really poor. Bailey came back, and since then he got dropped. So
But first year with the team, 25-year-old player.
he was a beast.
He I mean, he
He's a beast.
produced. What do you have? Like 10
Yeah.
goals.
The
Yeah.
poor guy left Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah.
just won the league.
Bad
and-
timing.
But I have
Yeah.
high hopes for Villa. I mean, they got
It's just-
Onana.
Yeah.
Onana from Everton. He's a Belgium. I mean, he was playing pretty good in the Euros, and he's a player with a lot of potential. He's only 22.
Yeah.
That's a solid pickup from
They got
Villa.
rid of Douglas Luiz though. They got in Ross Barkley. Ross
Yeah.
Barkley is the dude. Like his career was like completely done, and then he just shows up at Luton Town, has a really good season, and now he's in Aston Villa. He's going to be in Champions League next
That's
year.
awesome.
Yeah.
His career arc is so like they got to do a documentary on that guy.
And,
you know,
and they got Jan Matson. He's actually a really good left back.
They got
too.
Matson.
and they got Cameron Archer. So he was
Cameron
the
Archer.
striker from Sheffield.
Yeah.
That I felt like
Good,
was
good
the
backup.
only bright spot on that Sheffield team last season. I
That's
thought
a
was
good squad, man. That's
Yeah,
a
they're a good
squad
squad.
that's pushing for Europe. I mean, that's
Now
like
here's my thing though. Now when we get into the predictions, I'll touch more on it, but I don't know about Aston Villa next year. I'll tell you.
no. Why? Are you gonna get into
Well,
it?
we'll
but-
get into it because we gotta move on to
Yeah.
the yeah. So you guys got any transfers you want to talk about?
No, just make sure to mention Elise left to Bayern.
Oh God.
Michael Elise, that's a big loss for Crystal
my
Palace.
Yeah.
God,
And
I'm
for
so
Christian. He
upset
was
about
Christian's
that one. I
favorite
love
If Crystal
Mike.
Palace lose them and Eze, lose him and Eze, I mean that's a
Is
big
it
loss.
Elise? Now,
Elise.
now you have no players to pick in fantasy, Christian.
The guy is such a baller, man. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
He's lost
And I
to
saw that
England.
we were trying to hijack the deal or whatever, and
So
I hated when I read that because like I would have rather did them just come out and say we're not interested in the guy at all, right? But to say like, oh, we were trying to hijack the deal, we were in on him, blah blah blah, and then you don't get the guy. Oh, he's such a baller, man. What a baller. All right, well, he's gonna dominate for Bayern Munich.
let's see.
And, yeah. All right, let's move on from transfers, guys, because we got to get going here. Let's preview how the upcoming season will turn out. How do you guys see the upcoming season turning out? Mir, start with you, my friend.
Oh, it's gonna be a rough season.
For
I
who?
think, for as a City fan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a much slower start
yeah.
of the season. Like even,
But we got these pending charges that are going to be hanging over us until
Oof.
January.
and I mean it's Pep. They're saying it's Pep's last
Pep's
season.
last
Now
year.
there are rumors that he's gonna extend.
Stay.
But
He's probably just waiting to see what's going to happen with
This
these charges,
team-
man.
2 years ago they won
Yeah.
the treble,
Yeah,
World Cup, and they won the UEFA Super Cup, and now they just won their 4th Premier League in a row.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna be their motive?
Pep's last year. It's the only thing I can think of.
It was, and I mean, does Pep have that same motive too?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It's really
and-
difficult to self-motivate when you've accomplished all that we've accomplished.
And Pep has proven us all wrong before that you cannot just recreate that motive. He's great in creating that motive in that players, in the players, but I just cannot see with the same squad that you had last year that we would like pick up pretty quickly. I think we're gonna have another dip. We're gonna start very slow.
I think we start with Chelsea.
And then then we're probably gonna we're gonna start picking it up again, picking up the pace like around Christmas and like every time. But what will be the result of this? I don't know. The good thing though that we kind of all of these players that we have right now, this is their second year. A lot
Yeah.
of these so they will probably perform a lot better than last year.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that would be our hope that these guys now kind of digested what Pep was feeding them all
Yeah.
year last year, and now they're gonna actually perform at a quicker pace than last year.
Okay.
So we'll see about City.
Who do you have winning it?
I think
I'm waiting for you. I'm gonna.
I think Arsenal. It's time.
I think it's time for Arsenal to win it too.
I have a prediction. I have Arsenal first,
Yeah.
Manchester City second.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm hesitant between either Chelsea or Liverpool,
Uh-huh.
but I'm gonna put Liverpool third,
Yes.
Chelsea fourth, and then honestly, it could be Aston Villa fifth,
Mm-hmm.
and then sixth, seventh Spurs, Manchester United. But I
Sure.
think Arsenal team has matured a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's a team that is ready to win it,
Yeah.
and I think the players have learned, they're mature, and it's the same squad.
Yeah.
Not many additions. So I really do think they're going to win. I think Manchester City is going to do like what they always do, but I think they're going to fall short.
And they're going to want to win it this year because if I'm an Arsenal fan, and I was talking to my cousin about this, he's an Arsenal fan. He does not want to wait until Pep leaves Man City
Yeah.
to win the league.
Like,
Because
Yeah.
then there's not, they're like, well, you never won it when Pep was in there. We had like Jurgen Klopp win it with Pep in there. Of course, you have Antonio Conte's first year in Chelsea when Pep had his first year with Manchester City. But I really think for Arsenal fans, most of the ones that I have spoken to, they want to win the league this year because they want to do it while Pep is still in the league. And I think it's their best opportunity. I think, it would be. I'd love to go for Man City again, see if we could do 5 in a row. But I just, if I was a betting man, I'm going with Arsenal. Do you guys think? You guys think any of the teams that got promoted are going to be able to stay up, or do you think they're all going back down? This past year, all the teams that got promoted went right back down.
I think Leicester's staying.
Leicester staying.
I think that was a blip. I don't think they're going to fall short again.
Okay.
I don't think the other teams are going to stay. Southampton,
And Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Ipswich just got Liam Delap.
Ipswich is
for
going to
Man
go
City.
right down.
22 million pure
Yeah.
profit. Yeah.
But I think Leicester is staying, and I wouldn't be surprised if Everton go down this season. But
I almost have the same those two teams, Ipswich and Southampton, go down, but I think it's Nottingham Forest that goes down.
yeah, that
They
was
were
the second.
teetering on the
That was the
brink
second
last
team
It
year.
is
on my
time.
mind.
It is time for
Yeah.
Nottingham to go.
It's either
And
them
I
or
love
Everton,
them,
man.
but like they were teetering on the brink last year, just
Yeah.
like barely scratch. I think Everton have
They lost
They
to
started-
Onana. They lost to Onana.
they did lose
Let's
their
mention it.
Onana,
And
yeah.
now they only have Dominic Calvert-Lewin again to rely on. So it's one of them. But I think Leicester City brings and stays back in. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm going with.
I think I agree. Like
Okay.
Ipswich, Everton, and it's time for Nottingham to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's been long overdue.
Yeah. I mean, they've been fun to watch,
Yeah.
but
But I
They
do have, I think my predictions would be Arsenal, Man City,
yeah,
Liverpool. Those are the top three.
same.
That's me, yeah.
And I want to put Spurs.
Yeah,
in
I got
fourth.
Spurs 4 as well.
Ahead of Chelsea.
yeah,
really?
yeah. They
I
got
know,
the
man.
most continuity if you think about it, Max. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Chelsea got all these players. They got a new manager. They got a new system. Same thing with Liverpool, but Liverpool have such a cohesive unit that I think even though they got a new manager, I still think they'll be
Yeah.
competitive. Maybe not to win the league, but I still think they'll finish third. Spurs, the second year under the Aussie guys system.
I can see that. Yeah. I can see that.
Actually, let me take that back. I think Liverpool.
Fourth?
Yeah, either fourth or fifth, man.
No, not fifth.
With-
No chance, man.
I
We're finishing third.
What do we know about this guy?
It's not about the guy, man. It's about the players. I think these
But
players are third place.
most of these players relied so much on the energy coming from the dressing room.
I know. But I've been watching the training.
talented
I've been
team.
watching
The chemistry is there.
I've been watching them. They're a team that they're not going to get first, but they'll be up there.
I would be surprised if
Yeah.
Ange can get Tottenham past Liverpool. But I think Tottenham will have a good season next year.
I don't.
We'll
yeah.
see. We'll see with the Arne Slot. But
Let's see.
yeah.
But we have similar kind of predictions. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
We're
All
kinda,
right. One player to watch for the upcoming season. Who you guys got?
You go first. Mine's is already on my mind, but
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Amir. Yeah.
Oscar Bob.
Oh, yeah. yes. Oh,
go.
yeah. That's the player to watch for the upcoming season.
Yes.
So this guy I got to get in fantasy, basically.
Yes.
Good. All right.
Definitely gotta go get.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I think, you go ahead, but I'm assuming you're assuming he's going to be taking that right wing position.
I think he's gonna
Yeah.
take that right wing position, and I think Pep is gonna try to treat him similar to how he did with Foden.
Yeah.
He may not get a lot of minutes, but he will be a key player.
Yeah.
For that City team. And I think he gives us a lot of dynamic that we were missing last year with Bernardo playing on the right. I mean, you kind of predict like how we're gonna play.
Yeah.
But with Oscar Bob, like, we're gonna be unpredictable a bit, and I think it's gonna help. I want to see that combination with Kyle Walker on that right wing, like the fast pace and the skillful player, and then probably getting De Bruyne from behind to cross the ball.
Yeah.
I think that trio, Walker, De Bruyne, and Oscar Bob is gonna be a really good trio to watch for.
Yeah.
If it is what I'm thinking, how they're gonna play
Yeah.
from what I've seen so far.
All right.
I'm going Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott. Okay.
I really do think. I mean, I saw a lot of good sparks last season.
Yeah.
Coming on the bench, coming
Yeah.
off the bench and getting an assist, getting a goal. But I think this season he's gonna really take that starting position, and I think he'll get double figure goals. I think he can get 10 goals. I think he can get 6 assists, something like that. I think he's gonna be a really key player, and he's gonna be great this season. Yeah, I think he's matured. I have high hopes for him.
Nice.
I also think, Phil Foden will be. I mean, he's not really underrated, but I think this will be a very important season for him.
Yeah.
They relied on him a lot last season for goals, but I think he's going to start getting into that superstar status where we kind of relate him to. He's still not up there. He's not like, I don't put him up with Saka and when you name like the star player on the team, he can get dropped. But I think this season he's going to become into kind of a superstar status, kind of like Bellingham. I think those two players are kind of the key ones, and Palmer I think will continue to
Palmer's
develop.
gonna be a beast this year.
But Harvey Elliott is my underrated kind of star player to watch.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I touched on him earlier. I really think Emile Smith-Rowe is gonna have an unbelievable season. I think he's gonna. I think I could easily see 20 goal contributions for that guy this year. I think he's going to slide in, take that starting number 10 role in Fulham, and just ball out. And I think they're gonna get a lot out of him this year. I think he's going to relish the opportunity of actually getting to play. Because, I mean, it's tough to, when you're dealt with all the injuries he has, and then you got Odegaard in front of you, and you just got this well-oiled machine of Arsenal, it's hard to crack into that team. So I think he's going to showcase what he can do. And then, like, as a bonus, I don't know if the guy is even going to be dressing it every week, but I really thought that Ethan Waneri guy at Arsenal is really awesome, man. So I was kind of jealous that they have him. So he was like a B pick for me. Emile Smith-Rowe, though, I think he's going to have a really good upcoming season. All right. Hot take for the upcoming season. Who would like to start with this one? I'd like to start with this one, actually.
You go ahead.
Because I had time to think about it, right? So here's my hot take for the upcoming Premier League season. Tottenham Hotspurs will hoist a trophy. That is my hot take of the upcoming season. I really think that because of Liverpool, Chelsea, and even Man U to a certain extent undergoing a transitionary type of weird year, and I think Tottenham have the continuity. They got to get better defensively. Obviously, they play like a very high line that has to be addressed, right? But I just think they've got it in them this year. And I'm not saying Premier League trophy, guys. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, something like that, you know? I am predicting that their streak of, I believe, I don't know when's the last time they hoisted a trophy, man. Who knows? Does anybody know?
I have no idea.
I think they had hosted
They got an FA Cup or something.
Something like 16 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
This is going to be the year they break the streak and hoist a trophy. Boom. Book it. And I'm going to write these down so that we know for the upcoming season, and I'm going to save this. Go ahead, boys. Whoever wants to go first.
I mean, it's not really, I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think Aston Villa finish in the top 5. I think, well, I guess top 6 is what we say, but I think Aston Villa finishes in a European position again, and they take out, Tottenham out of the race, Manchester United out of the
Europe.
race.
So you want me to say it qualifies for Europe again?
I think they qualify for Europe, even Europa
Conference League?
I
We're
think
counting
they
that?
No, I'm
That's 7th, though. You're saying Europa or Champions League,
Europa
right?
League is 5th place, right?
5th and 6th. And then
I'm going with Europa League.
All right,
They're going to go into Europa League. And
for at least Europa League.
Yes.
Yeah.
And dare I say, Watkins is the top 3 scorer again
Nice.
in the Premier League.
Can I tell you why I disagree real quick?
Do it.
So last year we had Newcastle in the Champions League, and I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys remember when we met up and we did our predictions for the upcoming season. I believe I had Newcastle finishing 8th, and people are like, well, they got the Saudi minute money in there. They're getting all the they're doing. Why do you think that? I think these teams that respectfully are not used to being in the Champions League struggle once they get there. It's a lot more games. The Champions League games are stressful. You got to travel here in the middle of the week. It puts a lot of strain on players that might not be used to it. They lost Douglas Luiz. I like Aston Villa. Hey, Sawiris, right? Like, we're Egyptian. They're owned by an Egyptian guy, a Coptic guy even. I see them regressing a little bit this year, man. That just because of the extra games.
Yeah.
That's all.
Let's see.
Sorry, Amir, go ahead. What's your hot take for the upcoming season?
His
I
takes
think
are cold.
I think this year will be the first and the last year for Arne Slot with Liverpool.
Oh my goodness.
Dang, that's depressing.
Really?
I don't know if
Wow.
he'll get fired, but
Yeah.
that's his
That's
his only year.
wow.
with Liverpool.
Liverpool's not really
Man.
known for that. They're
I
not
mean-
usually they get a guy they hang on to for a while. They're not like Chelsea that's like firing guys
I don't know.
as the seasons change.
And I haven't read, I haven't
Wow.
seen anything. It's just my feeling, my gut.
That's a
I
hot
don't know,
take.
man. I watched the one friendly. It was a boring 1-0 game. I know it was the
Just
first game.
My
but I
guts
mean,
is telling me this is how it's gonna end for Liverpool for this year.
I hope not, but it's not completely out of the question.
Wow, that is something, man. I think, I could see where it could potentially happen, but I don't know. This Liverpool's such a well-run team that I just don't see them getting a guy and then a year later letting him go. Again, that's like Chelsea behavior.
I
You know what
wonder if
Like,
he's just a placeholder.
for
Maybe Xabi Alonso next year. I don't
oh,
know.
Xabi Alonso.
No,
don't
he's still
know.
got a while. I think
Well,
Arne Slot
listen.
is like a
Hey,
4-year.
Max, that's a good question though. Let's say next year Xabi Alonso moves on from Leverkusen. Are you willing to let go of Arne Slot after 1 year to get Xabi Alonso?
No, personally not. I have a
hotter take than the Aston Villa thing.
Wow.
I'm
Because to
just-
me, I think he's like the next best manager in
I
the
just
world.
have a bad feeling about former players jumping. Lampard, Gerrard. These players are huge players,
Then
and
you got
then
Zidane.
There's a big
Yeah,
difference
but I
with
mean-
Xabi Alonso.
Yeah,
There's
but-
a
older.
big difference.
Yeah.
The man has played
I
in
know.
the 3 big leagues, right? He's
Yeah.
played in La Liga, he's played in Bundesliga, he's played in Premier League. He's played for under Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, and there's like another big name manager that I'm blanking
you
on.
say Ancelotti.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think this guy, I mean, Gerard was always in Liverpool. This guy has seen the entire football world
He's a
and has been
beast.
under the best managers.
He's a beast.
I think they were breeding him from the beginning.
He's at the
to
wrong.
end.
He's coming at the wrong time. I'm not going to
won-
fire a manager
He
next
won a
season.
trophy too.
Yeah.
And not any trophy. He won
Yes.
the Bundesliga without losing a single game. And he almost won the Europa League.
He's amazing.
I think he's established already.
Dude, I'll take him in Man City next year if Pep wants to go. That's the guy.
Okay,
I
no, if
want.
that's the case, then
That's the guy I want. I mean,
Fire
there's no
Slot.
connection to us, right?
Here's a hotter take.
Yeah.
If Slot gets fired, they hire Gerard as a placeholder.
I hope not. I really hope
Oh
not.
my god.
Oh, all right. Some good hot takes here, guys. All right. So I would like to conclude with hearing about Amir's weekend. Okay,
Because I don't know.
I'm
don't
gonna
think
mute
Max
my
knows
mic.
the
I'm gonna give the
details.
floor to you, Amir, because this guy had a weekend to remember for the rest of your life.
Drum rolls.
So please,
Oh,
what happened, Amir? What's
I
going
have
on?
no idea. I was just like, I was working when I got a missed call number from the UK. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is definitely SK. Like, it's not like anything. And this guy left me a voicemail. He's like, hey, this is so and so from Man City. Give
Yeah.
us a ring back.
In a British
Oh,
accent.
In a British accent. I
Yes.
was like, what? How is that even possible? So I give him a call back, and he's like, okay, this is someone from Man City. We're hosting a gaming event to release a new map in Fortnite. and you're one of the people that is selected to come and join us, and you'll get to meet first team player and play with them, test out the map, and so I was like, sure, okay.
Gonna say no to that.
I was like I was jumping out of
Yeah.
happiness, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, like, how did they even get my number, my information? I guess I'm a loyal fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went and I met with Jack Grealish on Saturday. We actually played Fortnite together. We got to take pictures, and it was like a nice experience. And then the next day, it was the training in at Wakeman Soccer Park.
Open training for
Where
Manchester
it,
City.
yeah, it was. They gave me the tickets for the open training from playing with Jack Grealish Fortnite. So I got
And
paid
beating
for-
him, is that right?
Yeah.
Beating him in
That's
Fortnite.
crazy.
Yeah, I
All
met
right,
him,
Amir.
and I played with him. I actually killed him in Fortnite too. So I got to do. I had 24 hours to train to play Fortnite.
Yeah.
I had never played Fortnite, so
Oh my gosh.
I guess I did really good
Yeah,
to be able
yeah.
to kill Jack Grealish in
Yeah.
Fortnite. And then they gave me the free tickets. We went to the open training. It was a nice session and everything. And then I got Ederson and Erling Haaland to sign my shirt.
Really nice.
Yes. So that was another
That's cool.
thing. Yeah, we met them, and we met the players. I saw Pep, and it was so cool just to see like the training ground.
Seeing
like
him yell
how-
at people. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
How does
Yeah.
Pep look in person?
Does he have an aura? How's his aura?
Yeah.
He looked
Yeah.
depressing. He looked depressed. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
come on, dude.
With
do
his
something.
turtleneck, his
Yeah.
black
And
turtleneck.
His hand movement. Like,
Yeah, I know he
go
loves
there.
New York City, and I know the next game was in New York. His brain
Yeah,
is probably in New York.
Probably, but he was too focused. Like it was like serious. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
just like anything low key. They were like focused. Like we saw a couple of nice moves. They showed us a couple of things, tactics that they actually performed in game. So it was so nice to see
Oh, wow.
it in the training ground.
Yeah.
And then go to the game next day and watch how they do it. It was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, regardless that we lost that game, but it was a nice experience too. I mean, yeah, it was like a nice. Like,
Man City filled weekend.
yeah, I'm speechless.
Yeah.
It was really
How was
nice.
the game itself?
That's awesome.
The game was really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a 7-goal thriller.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill would
Yeah.
want more than that anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really nice, and like I felt included. Like it was nice to be feel included as part of the club. And guess what? People were wearing like Man City jerseys were all over the town.
Oh wow.
People wearing Man City jerseys.
Yes.
It's
Little
the Tar
kids.
Heel blue.
Yes.
This upcoming generation is ours.
Little kids, older adults, people in the streets selling Man City jerseys. Like I have never seen this. It was so
Wow.
nice to experience. Finally,
beautiful.
Man City is getting what we deserve.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that. So just to recap, you get a call from a British guy with a British accent telling you, "Hey man, you've been picked because we know you're a big Man City fan. I guess you're a citizen."
I
on
am
there."
a citizen.
We're coming here. We want you to come play with Jack Grealish. So you spend the night training in Fortnite, and then you kill him, and you play him in Fortnite and beat him in Fortnite.
I was actually featured on the City page too in the video.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
That's
Crazy.
awesome. Yeah,
2 seconds.
yeah.
But it's still something. It
That's
proves I
awesome,
was
yeah.
there.
Nice. Imagine a Man City fan gets that phone call. Hey, come play Fortnite with Jack Grealish, and then we're gonna send you to open training.
Dude.
You're gonna get an autograph from Erling Haaland and Ederson, and then you're gonna go to the match against Celtic.
Everybody's
How
dream.
awesome is that?
Yeah,
I
that's-
know.
Wonderful weekend. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem.
All right. Well, we've reached the end of our first podcast, boys.
Woo!
How do you guys think it went?
I think it
good,
went
good.
great.
Good. I enjoyed this
Yes.
a lot.
What are we on? 3 hours?
Oh, we're on. Let's see here. We are on 1 hour and 18 minutes.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I thought we were
Yeah.
like hitting to.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So,
There
any
you go.
final thoughts, guys? before
No,
we
I'm
close up
excited
shop?
for the season to start.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the fantasy season to start.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm ready to see the new manager for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm ready to see some real football
Yeah.
or soccer now.
For sure,
I
for
mean,
sure.
we saw. I mean, the Euros were really nice, but they were chaotic. Like there isn't anything to expect except that
Yeah.
Spain really performed really well. The Copa, we cannot count that,
was a headache to
unfortunately.
watch, man.
But yeah, I'm
Headache,
excited
yeah.
for the season to be back. I'm excited for Saturday mornings to be filled again.
Oh my goodness.
7:30s.
That was the first thing I was going to say.
excitement.
7:30s
Man,
on
there's,
Peacock.
there's nothing better to me since we're American for any
Yeah.
viewers that are overseas. We get those games early in the morning. There's nothing better than waking up on an early, crisp
fall morning on Saturday and sitting down and watching Man City dominate some other
Yes.
club, you know? So, yeah, that's going to be it for us. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a lovely day.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.